Good afternoon. It is January the 17th, 2018. Don't forget to roll to the March crude contract after the close of business today. Hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may have overcompensated for the impact of any of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit and losses similar to those shown. Okay, we had some pretty good selling today in the Emini right off the bat. This was the trade of the day. Retest failure. We caught this trade right here. That was a 2-point trade. We said if we got down 2 ticks above that bar's low right there, move your stop to break even. Market came back up and out. We like the long side of the market. The question for us today, did we have a 1-day sell-off, a 2-day sell-off? In the last 90 days, there's only been one period of time where the market sold for 3 days. Most of the selling has happened on 1 day. And we've just made a new contract high right here. So it's a strong market. The buying has not evaporated. It hasn't gone anywhere. The secret in trading the E-mini is to buy the dips, find a place to get long, put it on and disappear for several hours. Keep your hand off the mouse. The longer you stay in front of the screen, the more likely you are to cut your winners short. Strong market. Market is working its way up. We're dealing with, kind of looks like a trend day, right? If it's 3 letters wide, it can trend. We're still moving higher. So F1 says find a place to buy it. We've made another new contract high. Imagine we're going to have ourselves a new contract closing high too. Now, remember this. Everybody says, well, the profile can't help you on trend days. Yes, it can. If it's no more than 3 letters wide, the market can still trend. You can buy range extensions up. So a lot of what is said just doesn't ring true. Sell failure to take out and hold 28.10. Not really interested in that. Sell 14 to 16 and then 19 to 21. Give it a little bit of room. The previous high down here at 98. Where was the breakout? 28.05, 2800 even. Assuming we close here at 28.08, you're trying to buy 4 to 6s in Globex. And 99s to 01. And we'll adjust those for tomorrow for the overnight. We have news tomorrow. Starts plus 1.28 million. Permits plus 1.30 million. Jobless claims 250. Philly Fed 25. The Empire Index disappointed, so this one could come in lower. Nat Gas, we'll have another pretty good draw on Nat Gas, probably not last week's 359. And then crude inventories, we'll have the APIs tonight. So the permits and starts usually don't move the market by much. We'll see if they do tomorrow. Man, do we live in interesting times or what? It's really kind of exciting. You know, it's I see everybody wailing and gnashing their teeth, pulling their hair. All this contrived anger, and it just creates a lot of angst and a lot of unsettled. It's not a good way to live. pretty easy to turn off the news and the rest of it, because the mainstream media is just going to inflame you. If you're from the left, they're going to make you mad because Trump's in office, and they're going to stoke those fires. And if you're from the right side of the ledger, you're going to be mad about all the fake news. So doesn't get any better. The broad underlying currents are good. Economy's growing. It's expanding. Come on, mouse, work. There we go. Okay, we are in a secular downtrend in treasuries. And the reason for that is that the Fed has told us they're going to raise interest rates. So that's how I would do these splits. And we're really basically looking for a place to get short. Looking at the F2 screen, new move came late. We did get stops below 20. Actually, we stopped at 20. So we have a new move down. Put all of this together. Definitely looks like a B to me. Tomorrow's news usually doesn't have a lot of impact on the market. So first sell is 23.27. 31 to 03 for sell 2. We'll make 13 to 17 buy 1. And 5 to 9 buy 2. If you haven't gotten your dose of cold weather back east, I hear it's through the south now, making its way to the coast and then up the coast. So winter is still in effect for most of the United States. We're supposed to be 60 by the weekend. Henry and Charlie will love it. Makes so much easier to dig when the ground isn't frozen, if you know what I mean. God love them. Somebody has to, right? Okay, pretty square distribution for the selling in the 10-year. There's some the spread didn't it came off, but it didn't come off all that much, and the 30-year does not look as weak as the 10-year. Definitely a B. Definitely looking for a place to sell it. Don't get me wrong, but we've got 16 to 20 number 1. Sell 23.27. Sell 31s to 03s, like the short side of the market. We had a 3 to 7 sell today. That worked out pretty darn good. Lots of good trading. The bond, unless you came out and just bought the Emini and disappeared, was the easiest to trade. Gave you the trades in the allotted time, and weren't slowly twisting in the wind by very much. Okay, 4 to 8 support. 29 to 01 buy 1. And 17 to 21 buy 2. Got to give it a little room to the downside, but the selling in the 30-year does not look as pronounced or as strong as it does in the 10-year, and that's not usually the way you would anticipate seeing it. So there might be something going on that we don't know about just yet. When you see unexplained strength or weakness, somebody always knows. And that's how wealth is created in New York, inside information. And the center of the cash bond market is New York City. Gold trying to trade up here. Not doing a very good job of it. Outside day. And we got this big spill right here that finally kicked in. Pretty good selling above 42. I think probably the best support is 25, and if we bust 25, then we're probably looking at 13.10, give or take. We had a nice dump here on the close, so market definitely looks lower tomorrow. I have a B here, a B there, a B there, so we have 3 B's behind us. So right now 29 for Globex, 29 to 31, sell 1, 34, 36, sell 2. On the buy side, stops below 25 will make 24, 25, buy 1. 19 to 21, buy 2. I remember back in the military when long time ago, and I would follow and plug into the news in the United States, but then I wouldn't have access to that continuous news feed when I was out of the country for 10, 14 days. And things worked pretty well, not being plugged into the national news and all that stuff. It was one thing I learned back in those days. So if the news is upsetting you, you have to ask yourself, why in the hell you watch that stuff? I know to be informed, but you can step back every now and then too. Okay, crude oil, lower high, lower low, just barely. We'll be trading the March contract tomorrow morning. Find a place to sell it. The tendency during expiration is for a rally as February is bought and the hedge is reestablished in the March contract. So you can see we got a pretty good trading range here. Buyers at 63.50, sellers at 64.25, definitely at 64.75, and we're kind of right in the middle. So got a P put in backwards. And well, not really. Have a P, just gradually higher. So I think we can trade up a little bit, but resistance is 64, 64.25, sell 1. We'll have a better feel for it with tonight's APIs. Sell 2, 50 to 75. On the buy side, 50 to 75, buy 1. And then the buck to 25, buy 2. And tomorrow is 11 o'clock Eastern inventory. That tends to limit us to 30 to 40 ticks. Every now and then you'll get a day that's got 50, 60, 70 before the inventories, but that's pretty rare. And the euro, been all over, huge. Boy, I've see why people get up at 2 a.m. Eastern to trade the euro. Big day, not quite an outside day. Selling. Markets don't go straight up. They can go straight down though, right? Only when you have a position on. When you don't have a position on, they don't go straight down. So we had buying this morning at 22.50, and we rejected prices below 58. So we'll make 45.55, buy 1, 25, buy 2. On the sell side, 85 was last rotate up, so 75 to 85 in London, sell 1, 123 even, sell 2. That does it for this January the 17th, 2018. I've got a scoot this afternoon. Got a doctor's appointment. Got to pick up the wife at the library. So I will see y'all bright and early in the AM. Y'all have a great evening.